What is going on, guys? Have I got a video for you? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 most popular virtual tour softwares on the market in 2024. As you can see here, I have a tiered list based on a ranking system. S is for special, all the way down to F, which is a failure. I don't think we have any failures in regards to the software here. The 5 softwares I'm going to be talking about today are absolutely incredible, but some, however, in my opinion, are better than others for marketing. All right. What we're going to be doing is actually breaking down each software individually based on 4 main categories, giving it an overall score from 1 to 5, 1 being not that good at all, 5 being incredible, doing an average, and giving an overall score at the end. And then what we're going to do is once we have all the scores for all 5 softwares, we're going to be adding on to this tier list what I think is special, what I think is not that good, what I think is above average, etc., etc. You guys got it from here. If there's a software, guys, that I do not talk about, leave it in the comments below. I'm going to be making a part 2 to this video with 5 new softwares that we can break down even more. All right, so this is a very exciting video. The 5 softwares we are going to be talking about today, guys, is Matterport, Cloud Pano, Kula, 3D Vista, and iSpy 360. Ready to rock and roll? I am too. So strap in, get a snack, get a drink. This is going to be a longer video, but I'm hoping to provide a lot of value to you if you're someone who's in real estate, you're in some sort of business that needs photography, that needs virtual tours. At the end of the day, this is where technology is heading. It's very important. So strap in. This is going to be a great one. Let's get started. The first software we're going to be getting into is none other than the granddaddy of them all, Matterport. It is the most popular software on the planet. Reason being is you could buy it as a stock on the stock exchange. One of the best and one of the biggest real estate softwares on the planet. Essentially, there is LiDAR scanning involved with the Matterport technology, with the Matterport camera, the Pro 1, the Pro 2, and the Pro 3, which can shoot outside, which is great. They just released the Pro 3, I think, a couple years ago. It is a huge asset and huge tool. If you're a real estate developer, if you're someone who is building properties, if you need a digital twin for a property to add on to a certain renovation to get accurate floor plans and dimensions, Matterport is the software for you. So what we're going to be doing is going right into the software, checking out, again, the pricing, the value, the customer experience, the user experience, the overall abundant of features, and we're going to be giving it a list from 1 to 5 on each category, giving it an overall score, and then moving on to the next. All right, so let's get started here, guys. So Matterport, as you can see here, we're just going to be talking about the prices to start off. So Matterport, again, is included, Matterport has a LiDAR technology. So essentially what that means is all of the mass, all of the matter inside of a property, inside of a room, is going to be captured, and that's how you're actually able to have that digital twin for Matterport, which is a really, really cool feature that they have, which I love, and a lot of people, love as well. The pricing, though, this is one of the things that I personally have an issue with, because as you start to scale, like my company has, where I have actually multiple enterprise accounts, I have multiple accounts that, to be honest, I pay close to about $1,300 a month per account. It gets pretty pricey. And I think Matterport, to be honest, in regards to pricing, can get a lot better. We're going to be talking about some other softwares here that have really, really good pricing and very affordable pricing, convenient pricing, different options, etc. Where Matterport, I think, if you're just starting out, it might make sense, but as you tend to grow and scale, it's less to be desired, in my opinion. I'm not trying to trash Matterport in that. In regards to the different packages, as you can see here, you can have a free account, which is cool. But again, it's just one active space. As you start to scale, you're going to go to the starter plan, $12 a month, up to 20 spaces, 3 users. And you have to think, at the end of the day, if you're just doing these one-off projects where you don't necessarily need to have active spaces at a given time, then it might make sense for you. It might make sense if you need to just continue to move on and you're doing these certain construction, renovation projects where you don't need to actually have an active model month over month, then this might make sense to you. However, I know a lot of other companies, like for me, for instance, where we're a marketing company, a lot of these people and clients that want to get virtual tours for their properties or for their business. They want to have it turned on month after month, year over year. So you got to think, at the end of the day, if you're starting to scale and these spaces, you need to have them more active, and you can't really necessarily archive them, you're going to need to upgrade. And as you can see here, there's a very stark jump in the starter to the professional and then to the business. And then, like I said, for the enterprise, there's a huge bump where I think I'm paying what, $1,300 a month per enterprise account, which can get very pricey. And a lot of people in the comments are going to say, yeah, Sean, but at the end of the day, you can see that there's a certain multiplier here that people can follow. And I get that, but at the same time, it's expensive. And, with the current state of the market, I think there's a lot better solutions if you're looking for a marketing tool. If you're looking specifically just for a real estate renovation, capture, point cloud software, Matterport's your go-to, 100%. I think this is, not the best start for Matterport. So what I want to do is I'm going to give 1 to 5. I'm going to give Matterport, I would say I don't want to get too crazy. Give it 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 for the pricing. Not the best. Could be a lot better. Again, at the end of the day, I'm just saying this because I have an enterprise account, but I'm also factoring in the people who are just starting off with Matterport. And I'm looking at through the lens of if they're using it for real estate marketing. If they're using it for renovations, I guess there's still a use for that. What the heck? Let's bump it up to 3 out of 5. Let's be fair to them. All right. I don't have a beef with Matterport. I don't want them hitting me with a defamation suit. So let's go into the features of Matterport. Let's get into it, guys. So this is a really cool stuff. As you can see, this is the dashboard within Matterport. Really, really cool stuff. You can have different folders for different clients. As you can see, we have a lot of different clients here for Matterport. You can see a dashboard where you can have the active spaces, the user count. We're actually creeping up to 500 active spaces. We've actually been able to get rid of a lot of these spaces because there's other softwares that are just better for other clients. That's why I recommend it. So I don't necessarily need to upgrade, which is pretty cool. On top of that, you can also see public spaces, unlisted spaces, statistics, which is pretty cool. So lifetime, we have about 4 million impressions. We've had a lot more than these spaces. These are just the active spaces. We've probably had, oh gosh, maybe 5,000 Matterport tours across our entire lifespan, which is cool. You can see the users here, which is nice. It makes it really easy. This is really cool. I think at the end of the day, Matterport does a great job of kind of consolidating all this data, and there's new features, as you can see here. So this is a cool little thing, and it looks really techy, right? Like this looks from a user experience, from a dashboard perspective, it looks really nice. I like the, cleanness of it. A very, I don't want to necessarily say minimalistic, but it's a very modern-esque looking platform, which obviously helps. You have settings, all that kind of stuff. So really what I want to do, let's go into the actual spaces and showcase what the features are. Okay, so if people don't know how Matterport tours are captured, really, really easy. You take the Matterport Capture app, whether it's on a phone or it's on an iPad, and that's how you're actually able to hit buttons and then have the 3D camera, the Matterport 2, Pro 2 or the Matterport Pro 3 spin. It gets a certain LiDAR scan, and then you move on to the next space, right? That's how it works. So if we're using, let's just say, this particular space here, right? You have the ability to add the name, you can invite people, you can move to a certain folder, etc. Details, you can add the company name, contact phone number, all this stuff, which is pretty cool. Again, you have a lot of stuff to play with, which is really, really nice. And then on top of that, which not a lot of people know of, is you have the ability to actually get extra photos and extra content from the software itself, which no other virtual tour software, which we're going to talk about, gives you those extra assets, at least to my knowledge. I don't believe so. So this is really cool from Matterport to be able to actually provide you more value. And then on top of this, this is actually a new feature within Matterport where you're actually able to see the square footage of different rooms, etc. You can edit the layout. You can actually download this as a PNG. On top of that, you can see the certain impressions for a certain software, which is cool. And then what's really nice is you can actually check out all of the different add-ons, which you can see here, right? Add to Google, get a SKX file, get an E57 file, all these different things that are really important for construction, renovations, just overall helping scale a property, all right? Now let's go to the inside of the tour platform itself. I think this is what people are most interested to check out. So right when you get into a Matterport tour, you have the view of the dollhouse, which is really cool. So you can see, guys, this dollhouse here is one of the biggest and best features within Matterport. And the reason that is because it's one of the coolest features. It's automatic, it automatically gets processed. And from a visual perspective, it looks great. It looks really cool. From a marketing standpoint, this looks pretty cool as well. But like I'm going to go into other softwares in the future, this is, a very average feature that's come to be in the industry, because a lot of people can make a dollhouse from their scans, from their 360 panos. But what I really like is it's automatic. You don't need to pay extra for this. This is an included feature within the software. And then on top of this, guys, you can also click through the space as you see here. You can add in certain tags. You can add in certain 360s, which is really nice. You have a floor plan view, which you can actually check out the square feet on. You can add notes. You can add measurements. Again, these are all features that if you're in construction, renovation, property development, these are the features that you want to have at the end of the day. They're not necessarily marketing features. I know a lot of real estate people, they love Matterport because Matterport is probably the only software that they know of. But alas, there's a lot better softwares for marketing a property to actually get more people to check out the property to lease it, more people to actually check out to buy it, to create some sort of a transaction, all right? Now, if you're a construction company, you need to have accurate dimensions and all this kind of stuff. Matterport is your go-to, 100%. I would highly recommend that, all right? So what you can actually do is you can go into the tour itself and add a lot of these different features, right? So you can add in a starting point. You can add labels, like I said, measurements. You can add a guided tour, which used to be called the highlight reel, which you can actually click. This little button here will populate. You can click that play button, and then it can float through like you're a ghost, and it plays through in a very organized setting, which I really like about that. You can add in matter tags. You can add in notes. You can add in certain other 3D scans. You can take out 3D scans, which is a really cool thing. You can take out or include 360 views, which essentially are these things here, right? Or you can actually take photos, 2D photos or 360 photos yourself using this particular platform, which is cool. And then on top of this, you also have the ability to check out the different plugins for Matterport. So as you can see here, you can add a compass, which is really cool, the different directions and all that stuff. You can add a business card, which is really nice. This is actually a new feature that I really have come to enjoy. You can add a mini map, which is even cooler. This actually used to not be in the software before, but what I really like is you're able to have a clear understanding of what you want. And on top of this, you could also blur certain things. So these are all the features that you can see here, guys. You could trim certain things. You can have a better property layout. I think this is really neat. I think this is really cool. You get a good understanding of what you have and what there is to be. All right, so guys, in regards to the user experience and the features, I think we got to rate this a 5. I think Matterport does a tremendous job for what they do, for whether it's development, whether it's restoration, construction. They do an incredible job at creating so many different features and being the leading virtual tour software in the marketplace, because they have so many of these different features that the marketplace wants, and they can just simply add it to the tour software. So with that being said, we have features, 5 out of 5. User experience, 5 out of 5. Now, let's go to the value for a Matterport tour. How can you quantify the value, Sean? How are you going to be able to do this? Well, I'm looking at this through the lens of marketing, okay, which is not going to be that good of a score. Now, I know some people are going to be viewing it from another lens of construction, which that's what I've talked about with Matterport, right? And they're different, different strokes for different folks in the sense of if I'm rating this from a value perspective for marketing, I'm probably going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, right? Whereas if I'm using this for a restoration, if I needed to know the square footage very accurately, if I need to, get point cloud data, all this stuff for a certain, construction project in the future, I'm going to rate this a 5 out of 5. So I think it's a really interesting perspective because so many people simply use Matterport for marketing and they use it for renovation. They kind of use it for the same purpose or different purposes, but they use this one software. So I think really I kind of want to sway people to use other softwares for marketing a property because, in my opinion, it's just a lot better. And, for what I've been doing for so long, I just think it's overall a better way to do things. All right. So let's average it out. 3.5 for marketing out of 5. And then for renovation type projects, 5 out of 5. So what would that be? Let's check this out here. So it's going to be a 4.25. 4.25 out of 5. So with this being said, we have a 3 out of 5, a 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, and 4.25, going to a total score of 17.25. And dividing that by 4, we have a total average score of a 4.3. All right, so Matterport gets a 4.3 for overall. Again, I'm going to add all of these tour softwares to the board after this. I'm not going to be doing it on this video. So let's move on to the next tour software. The second software we're going to be reviewing is CloudPano. CloudPano is one of my most used softwares. I love them. They're a fantastic software. I'm going to be giving a pretty fair rating, in my opinion. So let's get into it right now. All right, so this is the CloudPano dashboard, as you can see here. The really nice thing about CloudPano is just like Matterport, you can have an enterprise account, but the pricing is a lot different and for good reason. And I got to be honest, I mean, the pricing for CloudPano is very, very affordable. So for a Pro Plus plan, okay, for a CloudPano Pro Plus plan, just so you guys can see I'm not BSing you, their Pro Plus monthly subscription is $33 a month. Now, I actually have, I got some extra features to this. So I actually used to get billed at $50 a month for this Pro Plus plan. But I soon had so many different, tours. I actually had to upgrade to an enterprise account, which I think I now pay about $500 a month. And I have several hundred tours on there. So Pro Plus is great. Pro plan is good too. I don't know if these are current plans. I think they might be. So there's a free trial. It says free trial not available, but as you can see here, you can get a free account, and then you're going to need to upgrade. I like the Pro Plus plan. I mean, you're paying $50 a month. You get unlimited tours, which is great. Think back to Matterport, where if you were paying, I think it was what, like $60 a month, $65, $69 a month, whatever it was. I think you had what, like 100 active spaces. So for this, the Pro Plus plan blows it out of the water. You get so much more value, so many more tours. It's great. So for this particular, score for the pricing, I got to give CloudPano a 5 out of 5 with pricing. I got to be honest. Just based off of math, just based off of what they have, it's absolutely fantastic. Again, CloudPano is one of my most used softwares, but I just think based off of math, you're able to save so much more money and you're able to create amazing marketing tools for your clients. And that's what CloudPano is. In my opinion, it is one of, if not the best marketing softwares on the planet for real estate, businesses, etc. I think it's one of the best marketing virtual tour softwares on the market right now. All right. We're going to get into the features right now, guys. So you can see the dashboard, just like Matterport. You can see the different teams. You can see the demo tours, just like Matterport had. There's a Q&A, join the community. there's so many different things here. And I really appreciate that with Clayton and Zach, the two founders, is they're really trying to give back. They're really trying to create something that the market wants and needs. And the nice thing about Cloud Pano is it's not obviously as big as Matterport. So you're actually able to have access to Zach, to Clayton, and talk to them if you're in the community, on Facebook, on certain other platforms. And they actually take what you say into consideration, which I got to hand Zach and Clayton to. They do an amazing job on that. I think they do an incredible job at running the company and just providing in my opinion, a tremendous marketing asset that we'll get into in a second here. And then you could also have a support chat, which is cool. They have a great team over here as well. But let's get started, guys. Let's talk about the features for a particular tour. Let me go into a software, or actually better yet, let me show you one of my favorite Cloud Pano tours. This tour, as you can see, is the American Jewish University. It's based in California. As you can see, I mean, how beautiful is this? The nice thing about Cloud Pano is you're actually able to take a drone. I think in this case, it was a DJI Mini Pro 2, I believe it. If not, it was a 3. So we actually took that drone several feet high, took some 360 photos of the mountains, and added it to the tour and made that the starting point, actually. The really, really cool thing, guys, about this virtual tour and what I like about Cloud Pano is you're actually able to include the exterior of the area, which Matterport doesn't necessarily allow you to do. Matterport, if you've used it before, if you're using a Pro 2, that camera only allows you to go to the inside. The Pro 3 allows you to do the outside. It's a more advanced software. It has outdoor scanning capabilities, but you're not able to take drone panos of the tour, which I really like that reason for Cloud Pano, right? As you guys can see, we can add a logo. We can add a lead form, which Matterport somewhat has, I guess, with the business card. You can add tags, as you can see here. You can label things. There's a live chat feature that you can do as well if you're like a car salesman or any type of salesman and you want to have a 360 tour of a certain car, using this as an example, and you want to have people be able to reach out to you from the tour, you can do that, which is really cool. I really, really like that feature for Cloud Pano. All right. Now let me go into a tour real quick so I can show you the back end to this. So the one thing that's cool is you can actually add the tour to Google, Trulio, Realtor, Zillow, all these big platform, which is really, really nice. And this is the dashboard to creating a Cloud Pano tour. So you can actually have a brand kit, which we talked about, custom logo, default hotspot. Do you want to change the theme? Do you want to have a white labeled URL? So instead of it being app.cloudpano.whatever, you could just have it be the American Jewish University / virtual tour, or it could be, in this case, tours.momentum virtualtours.com. Yeah, I mean, for my money, guys, this is a really, really cool thing. You can see there's certain watermarks that you can do here. So in this case, all you got to do is just add that, and that's cool. Again, this is really just saving a lot of time and money. You can add a floor plan. You can order a floor plan, order a dollhouse, which we talked about. A lot of people are catching on to Matterport. You're able to actually add a dollhouse, which is really, really cool stuff. Lead gen. You can turn on a lead gen form. Settings. You can actually link it with Google Analytics, which is really, really cool. This is one of the best things because you'd actually understand, just like you can with Matterport, how many clicks, how many calls, how many impressions you're getting on a pretty much monthly basis. And what I like about Google Analytics more than the capability with Matterport is if you have Google Analytics, you probably already have I'm saying if you already have a Google Analytics account, you're probably already synced with your website. You're probably already synced with a couple other things too. This way, in my opinion, I really, really like it. I think it's a great thing here. You're able to get a lot more data in a consolidated, little space, right? The live feature, which again, you can do all this kind of stuff. No software required. You can host unlimited tours. If you wanted to, do a live meeting, you could do that. It's really, really awesome. It's really, really cool stuff. You could choose a team, as you can see here, and that's it. I mean, guys, I'll be honest. I'm going to give Matterport a 5 out of 5 for the features and a 5 out of 5 for the user experience. In my opinion, I love this software. I think it's the best marketing software out there. You can set directions with this compass, as you see here. There's so many different features. It's unbelievable. Again, I'm not trying to sway you in one software or another. I'm just saying I get a lot of value from Cloud Pano, and my clients really love it at the end of the day. Which brings us to our final one, value. And I hate to be biased here because I use Cloud Pano so much, but I'm just being transparent here, guys. It's a 5 out of 5. They get 5 out of 5s. It's what was that? A score total of 20 divided by 4. They get a perfect score. 5 out of 5. Cloud Pano absolutely crushes it. What can I say? I mean, Cloud Pano is great. They do a lot of awesome stuff. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, Cloud Pano is definitely going to get a pretty good ranking here. But guys, that is the Cloud Pano review. What we're going to do next is do Kula. This is one of my other awesome favorite softwares. We're going to be going into it right now. But Cloud Pano has the lead, 5 out of 5. Matterport, 4.3, my opinion. So let's go on to Kula next and talk about the awesome stuff that this has going on. So Kula, guys, is a very interesting software because I see people using it a lot with 3D renderings to actually take a rendered, whether it's a still photo or it's a complete 360 panoramic image. They'll add that to Kula and they'll actually create a very interesting rendered virtual tour. Now, you can do this with the other 360 softwares we'll talk about, but I see it done a lot with Kula. And I think the reason is because it's a very affordable software, and you're also able to take a lot of very interesting 360 panos, regular 360 panos, and make a cool tour off of that. So let's get right into it, guys. We're at the third software already here. So what I like about Kula, as you can see right here, is there is a pro plan, there's a business plan. The pro is $20 a month. It has unlimited tours. The business is $36 a month. For my money, I mean, again, if you're just starting off and you're doing this for marketing, again, this is Kula is a marketing tool. I like to use it for a rendering project, etc. Not necessarily for like a real estate architectural project because it's not, you don't have the LiDAR technology that you do with Matterport, with Kula. But with that being said, guys, I mean, $20 a month billed annually. So what? That's $240 a year. Unlimited tours or up to 10,000 posts. I mean, you get a lot of cool stuff here. What can I say? I mean, to be honest, I know the owner of Kula. He's a great guy. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? They have a pretty solid, enterprise plan as well. I just have the pro plan for now. I don't really do too many of my own Kula tours in the sense of I actually have other companies that are doing the renderings, just add all of the renderings to the Kula tour itself. But guys, if we're talking about the Kula pricing, it's 5 out of 5 as well. I mean, to be honest, you can't get better pricing with this. It's competitive. It's, again, lower than Cloud Pano, which you could believe that. It was $50 a month with Cloud Pano. With Kula, it's $20. I mean, could I get a 6 out of 5 here? It's incredible stuff. So Kula is really solid in regards to this. Let's go into an actual Kula tour and we'll showcase all the cool things that you can do. So this is a complete 3D rendering, as you can see here, right? You can check out Spring Arbor University. This is one of our clients. On top of this, if you wanted to, and you can actually go in to your own Kula account, you can see all of the different renderings right here from other people, which I really like, right? Now, this is a cool tour because you're actually able to check out and this is a real panoramic drone image. As you can see, this is beautiful. Where is this? Downtown Frankfurt in Germany. So this is gorgeous right here. Now, the one thing I will say about Kula is there's really not that many soft features of this, where, as you can see here, this was posted, 9 months ago. People can like it, which is cool. They can comment, which is interesting. But as you can see, I mean, in regards to the features, it's one of these things where there's not that many features for the Kula tour. And, I'll show you exactly what I mean by this. If you go to this golf resort right here, it's pretty, I want to say, it's pretty similar to Cloud Pano in the sense, but I feel, and this is just my opinion, that the icons could be a little bit more um, robust. You could have a little bit more customizations, as you can see here. Now, again, like this is a pretty solid tour, but I just feel like it could be done a little bit better. Just like with the wording, and maybe I'm being too anal on this. I mean, you could still have, some cool features here and there. What I would like to see is actually some features along the sides of the tour, just like how you do with Matterport and Cloud Pinna, where it's almost kind of stuck there and you're able to actually check out different things from the tour itself, right? Let's go to some featured tours. Let's go to some of the some of the most liked tours. Can we go to the most liked tours ever? Yeah, I don't know. So let's go to some other featured ones, as you can see here. So you have the virtual show, so you can walk into it. That's cool. And yeah, like as you can see, this is a complete 3D rendered project. As far as I'm concerned, this is not a real 3D panoramic image. It is just a very well done, or it might be actually. See, this is the thing, is that the technology is so good. I don't know, but I think this is a rendering if I have to use my best judgment. So, which is really nice. You can check out a lot of other stuff too. Again, it's not as robust as Cloud Pano, just based off of like the features being somewhat wonky, as you can see here. Again, I'm not trying to slander, Kula. I just think that it's not as robust as the others. And for that, for the features and also for the user experience, I'm going to give this a 4.5 for the user experience. I'm sorry, I'm going to give this for the features, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. And then for the user experience, I'm going to give it I want to say 4 out of 5 as well. All right. So 4 to 5 for both of these. Now let's go to the value of this. So at the end of the day, you're going to use Kula for, again, most likely a certain rendering project. If you have a real estate property, if you have a golf course, sure, you can use Kula. In my opinion, though, it's still not enough because you're missing certain features, you're missing analytics that Cloud Pano and Matterport get. So really what I would recommend is if you're Kula, simply add more features based off of the certain API and SDK integrations that Matterport and Cloud Pano have. I don't know how that works, but you could certainly get a higher score on this. So with that being said, I want to give Kula, I want to say for value, you have a 4.25 for Kula. I think Kula is a great software. I just think there's a lot of opportunity. So guys, this was the Kula review. Next, what we're actually going to be doing is doing one of my, again, other favorite tours is 3D Vista. It's going to be our 4th software. We're almost done. It's crazy. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, like, and comment below what your favorite tour software is so far. Was it Matterport? Was it Kula? Was it Cloud Pano? Am I totally wrong, or do you agree with me? I'd love to hear you guys below, so definitely comment. And we're going to be getting into 3D Vista right now. One of my favorite softwares. It's really, really cool. So let's get into it. Again, we're basing all these softwares on 4 categories: pricing, customer experience, user experience, value, and the features that the tour actually has. All right, so like we do with all of them, let us start with the pricing. Okay, 3D Vista, guys, is a very interesting platform because you don't need a subscription. Like you see here, it's just a one-time payment and you get unlimited virtual tours. Now, you might be saying to yourself, okay, well, do you have unlimited hosting though? And that is where you would be incorrect in assuming that. So you do need a hosting package if you're actually going to be using 3D Vista to host all of these tours. Now, you could have a custom private server, but it's really expensive. It takes a lot of time, and it's, to be honest with you, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. So I would recommend just using, if you're doing a lot of 3D Vista tours, use their platform. It's really solid. But In regards to the pricing, it's $500 one-time fee, and then you actually download the entire package. It's kind of like those, games that you used to download on your computer as a kid, right? It's the same thing. So you download the file. It is an application. You click into it, and then you actually are able to work inside of that platform and then export it and then get a link and then get a embed code, just like you can with any other virtual tour software. All right. It's a little bit different because every other tour software we've talked about, you haven't had to download that. But in my opinion, I don't mind it because you do get, like I said, a license, and it is a little bit more protective in the sense of if I have someone who's across the country who has a 3D Vista account and they already downloaded it, I need to actually give them a license key to be able to use that. So there's a little bit more protection there, which I actually really enjoy and I really like. So guys, in regards to pricing for 3D Vista, 5 out of 5. I mean, the hosting, it doesn't matter, if you're doing a lot of tours or not that many tours. So here it is. So if you have, and this is per day, right? This is per day. So if you have a 3 GB bandwidth per day, it's €8 a month. I don't know what that would be in USD. Probably very close to that, obviously. If you need the video tour hosting, it's 30 gigabytes bandwidth per day, which is a lot. Like people don't realize, like 30 gigabytes that's a lot of data. Or what you could do is if you need a special plan, you could do this, which is starting at €5 a month. Again, I think it's pretty affordable for the hosting. So you pay $500 one-time fee, you get that out of the way. You're not paying any more to 3D Vista for that, so it's just a one-time expense. But where they make their money is in the hosting. 425 euros a month. This is a lot of storage, and it's it's a big bump in fee. I mean, it's almost 10 times the amount for 4 times the storage, right? So in my opinion, again, what I would recommend is actually creating your own plan around this. Very rarely are you going to actually need the event, like the I guess calling this plan the event. Very rarely are you going to need to do this, right? So this is what I would recommend for the 3D Vista hosting, right? So 5 out of 5 pricing. Now let's actually get into some samples. Let's get into the work. Let's see what it looks like. Guys, the really cool thing I love about 3D Vista is you can literally make anything you want in the software. You could do a 3D model of a car. You could do a flyover of this particular area. You could do a virtual staging swap element where you have different materials, you have different finishes, black granite, marble, gray quartz, whatever the case is, right? You could have a medical training simulation of someone who's actually trying to learn how to be a surgeon. All these really cool things are able to be done. Virtual paintball, how cool is this? I mean, that's unbelievable, right? A parfum shop, I don't know if that means to be perfume, but I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not going to assume there. Virtual staging again. So you have all these different comprehensive features, which I absolutely love. I'm a car guy, so let's get back to that car real quick. I want to see exactly what you can do and what you can actually check out. So the cool thing is if your product is actually featured within 3D Vista, you're actually going to be featured on the site. And then you have a entire different list of the different features you can add, all these different things. Again, the really cool thing I love about 3D Vista is you just have so much customization. It's unbelievable. So let's actually get into the virtual tour here. So the cool thing is you actually have a link, which you have with all the other tour softwares, which is great. You have a code, which you can then post to your website. But you're going to see, this is, in my opinion, very cinematic. This is an intro. I mean, how cool is that? That's pretty badass. All right, I'm not going to lie, that's sick. That is absolutely amazing. So look at the customization here. So this is, again, it's a 3D rendered um, tour or 3D rendered car, but you can have all these different specifications, whether it's the wheels, the interior, the lights, all these different things. There's custom noises when you click certain things, which is cool. You can check out the color, the different doors. It's unbelievable. I mean, the audio literally matches what it's doing. So if you're shutting a door, that's what the audio is going to be. That's awesome. And then if you need to put down the window, it has the audio for that. So put the light on, put the light off. I mean, this is unreal customization here, guys. Let's go to another example so I can show you a little bit more in depth on 3D Vista. But for my money, this is the most comprehensive software on the market right now. More comprehensive than CloudPano, more comprehensive than Matterport. It does an amazing job at giving you a virtual perspective that you've never had before. In my opinion, I know I said CloudPano is the best marketing tool out there. 3D, just because it's so easy to create and it's very like accessible, 3D Vista might be the best. It might be the best. And the reason I say that is you create cinematic videos and cinematic tours just from this. So this is a, what is this called? Photogrammic aerial view. Think about it as like if you're going on Google Maps and you hit 3D and it populates all those buildings in a very kind of like wonky area. But in this case, you can kind of see what it's looking like. You can check this out here. 3D Vista is really great for very customized projects that need highly cinematic type feel to it, very professional. Not saying CloudPano doesn't create professional stuff, but CloudPano is really good for, you know, I would say businesses that aren't necessarily needing, like I said, like very cinematic type features. Yeah, I think overall, I mean, what can I say? Like, these are some of the best tours, virtual tours on the market here. Let's actually go into a, I think this is rendered too. The nice thing about 3D Vista too, guys, is people use 3D Vista for a lot of rendering projects too, which is great. So again, you can see the customized features here. It's really great. I've done it before. Features, 5 out of 5. User experience, 5 out of 5. Guys, the value, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 as well. And the overall score, if you can't do math, it's 5 out of 5. It's unbelievable. This is a UK-based software. It's unbelievable. I mean, I've used it for years on end now, and I wish I did more of these. I mean, we do use 3D Vista for many different clients, but I wish we did more of them, and we will do more of them. I love it so much as a software. The one thing I will say about 3D Vista that I don't necessarily like is it does take a lot of time to create a certain tour. So I would say if you're able to finish a CloudPano tour in, you know, a day or 2 days, you're probably going to take, I would say, maybe about double the time for creating a proper 3D Vista tour. Now that might depend on like your Wi-Fi connection, how well you know the software. So I might be wrong about that, but I'm just going based off of like my own experience creating these tours. The putting together of it is very solid. It's just sometimes, you know, if you're not an expert in it, you need to learn, you know, how to use it properly, which I would say, you know, my team, my operations team, we know how to do this, but at the same time, it's one of those things that, you know, it's like learning how to ride a bike. And if you don't, you know, haven't rode a bike in years, you're going to be a little, what's the word, rusty with it, right? So I think I'm a little rusty with 3D Vista just because I haven't personally done it in years. I have a team that does all this stuff. So they might say, Sean, it's the same process, CloudPano and 3D Vista. So guys, this is a 3D Vista review. They got a raving review, 5 out of 5, perfect score. What do you think about this? You comment below. Do you agree, disagree? I love 3D Vista. I think it's one of the best tour softwares out there. So guys, this is the 4th software we're going to be talking about. The 5th one, the final one we're going to be talking about in this video is iSpy 360. Let's get to it. And then we're going to go to the tiered list and actually rank these things from best to not so good, or maybe, you know, worse in this case, comparable to all these other softwares. We are at the final tour software. Last but not least, we are going to be going and reviewing iSpy 360. Now, I will say, full transparency, full honesty, and full hand raised, this is the software I have used personally with Momentum 360 the least, simply because I can do a lot of the things that iSpy does with other softwares. And to be honest, just not trying to be offensive to iSpy, is Cloud Pano has a better brand, 3D Vista has a better brand, Matterport is a better brand. iSpy is coming up. It's a newer software. So again, don't want to take a crap on iSpy. It's just there's other softwares out there that are probably a little bit more known, but iSpy is still great. So let's get into it. So this is their service pricing, as you can see here. Let me exit out of a couple things. So the cool thing about iSpy is they have a very interesting pricing model where really it's a per tour fee. So let's just say you're doing, a certain amount of tours per month. Let's just say you do 10 tours per month. Your monthly fee on this is going to be $150, right? Now, if you're doing more than this, right, this is what you would pay. To be honest with you guys, I don't like this subscription model. Or I guess it's not really technically a subscription model. You're really just paying one time per tour, which if you think about it, isn't too bad. So you kind of got to factor that in. The reason I don't like this, if I'm actually thinking about it, is probably one of the more profitable payment methods. So I actually kind of do like this. I'll take that back. I actually do like this pricing. I guess I'm just used to the subscription model, which isn't too good. It just, if I'm doing more and more tours, this is going to be something that this figure is probably going to increase as I increase in the volume. On top of that, if you're doing just overall more volume, you'll probably need to do a monthly subscription, which again, it is what it is. But with that being said, I mean, you have unlimited hosting. It's $55 a month. You get 10 brands, 10 users. So it's not too bad. I mean, to this day, I would say the most value you probably get for any pricing either is going to be Cloud Pano or it's going to be, I would say, Kula or 3D Vista. And then I would say iSpy and then Matterport because the pricing with Matterport just isn't that good. So with the iSpy's pricing, not the worst thing in the world, better than Matterport for sure. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 pricing wise because it is profitable. It's a very profitable model if you're just starting off. But with that being said, again, here's the thing: is it's 12-month hosting, and then I think you need to pay another $15. So it is kind of a reoccurring thing. That's kind of how they get you in. And you can check here, pay monthly, no commitment, save money. So it's okay. It's pretty decent, I will say. So let's actually go to some of the features, as you can see here, as they show features pay less for more. So as you can see, there's a lot of things you could do. You can share your screen, branding, info labels. Again, this is not new stuff. Any 360 camera, which is cool, API, SDK integration, security tools, iSpy lead flow. So pretty much the same. I think this is a very similar software, guys, if I'm comparing it to Cloud Pano. I just think that in terms of like the actual features themselves, I don't want to necessarily say it's wonky and it doesn't look good, but at the same time, I think there's a little bit left to be desired, if I'm just being honest. Again, I'm not trying to be, rude or mean. I just think that for what they have, it could be a little bit better. So this is an example of their AI platform, which is cool. And the reason I say it's a little wonky is it just looks like this could be a little better integrated into the actual, platform itself. As you can see, there's multilingual AI avatars, which I do like the avatar feature with this. I do think this is a really, really cool thing. The other thing too is just like sometimes it takes, a little bit to load and it's like you kind of don't know where you are with this certain thing. It's not as, so this is a 360 pano and here's the navigation bar. So these panos really aren't shot that great. I think the navigation could be a little bit better if I'm being honest as well. Again, I'm not trying to nitpick. It's just from what I'm seeing for, certain things. But what I will say is I do think they're actually ahead of the curve in regards to their avatar. So if I actually scroll up and I hit play here, so that's cool. So I can press play here. There's an AI avatar, which is really nice. Clone yourself. So that's pretty cool. You can take it from an existing avatar. You could clone yourself, which I actually really like this. This is pretty cool stuff. Um, yeah. So this is pretty nice. I'm actually going to enter my information here to check this out because I definitely want to do a little bit more research on this. I did a lot of research already, but this is a new feature that they released not too long ago. So what I would say is features, let's do 4.5 out of 5. User experience, 4 out of 5. The reason I'm dinging them a point on the user experience is because I think it's a little wonky. It's a little kind of clustered, a little busy. It's, not as clear as some of the other softwares that we have. In regards to the value, I think it still does what it needs to do. It's just missing the mark just a little bit. So the value for this, I would say it's lower than Cloud Pano and 3D Vista. But in my opinion, I think the overall value for this is going to be a 4.5 out of 5. So what do we have here? So we have 4, 4, 4, and then a 4.5, 16 and a half. Just doing this so you guys can see, for a score of 4.125. 4.125. All right. Well, guys, we are at the finish line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then put these tours associated with the best score. All right. So guys, the two softwares that had the highest scores, that had perfect scores actually, were Cloud Pano and 3D Vista. Guys, Cloud Pano and 3D Vista are unbelievable tour softwares. In my opinion, they do their job, whether you need more of a cinematic software with 3D Vista or you need more of a, I want to just say, very easy, accessible, loaded with features, loaded with value, jam-packed with certain features. That's Cloud Pano. Tracking, analytics, all that great stuff. Cloud Pano has that. What can I say? In my opinion, it does a really, really good job. Again, I'm biased because I use, Cloud Pano the most. But with that being said, I think I gave it a fair shake, and I think overall you get a lot from this, right? The next one coming in, and I want to say the next place is going to be Matterport. So guys, Matterport is still a very damn good software. I'm giving it an A simply because it still does its job. There's certain things that I don't like about the tour software, and a lot of that is in regards to the pricing. You get value from this, but if you're doing it from a marketing perspective, you're missing just a hair off this. So what I would say is if you're Matterport, really work on the prices. I know they're billion-dollar company. They have a lot of money, a lot of people paying for their services, which is great. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I really wish the tour software pricing would be a little bit lower. The other thing I don't like, if I'm being honest, is they do have their own Matterport text, which will kind of bid and compete against the Matterport subscribers. So I don't necessarily get that whole model. It's like you have people paying for the software, but you also have your own tech service, which again, I know these subscribers, they're the ones who are shooting this, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're actually with Matterport, which is kind of saving money and decrease. it's increasing the competition and kind of because they can undercut the prices, no problem. They're a billion-dollar company. So for me, it's not ideal. But again, they have a pretty damn good software. That's what I would recommend. The next tour software is Kula, coming in a score of, what is this, 4.25. So still a really, really good score. I'm going to rank them still at an A. I think for what you get, it's pretty solid. Maybe even I would say an A minus, just because you have a, what will I say? There's a little, in regards to the features, in regards to like the user experience, it's could be a little bit more, how shall I say this? It could be a little bit more cleaned up, as we showed in other examples with Kula. But overall, it's a pretty damn good software. I mean, Bartek, who runs the company, he's the founder. He has an amazing tour software here. I've talked to him multiple times. He's an amazing founder, an amazing entrepreneur, does tremendous job. So that's what I would recommend. And coming in last, but really not least, even though it has the lowest score on this, I mean, there were a lot of heavy hitters here. coming at a score of 4.125 is I Spy 360. So I Spy 360, I'm going to give it a B plus. The reason I'm going to give it a B plus is it's a good software. Again, the one thing that I will say, if we're going back into this, is, the pricing is decent. The user experience, in my opinion, it's just not there. It's, like I said, kind of wonky. It's a little too busy. But at the same time, you can easily clean that up. Like, people can clean this up. And at the end of the day, you have these AI avatars, which are pretty freaking cool at the end of the day. So no love lost. It's just my opinion. Who the heck am I to review these things? I just, not saying I'm a, crazy expert perfectionist here. I know this stuff pretty well because I've ran a business for this for multiple years now. No shade towards I Spy. It's just my opinion. I know other people might have different opinions. This is just one person making a video and putting rankings on a board. That's it. Doesn't really mean that much. It's just one person, right? I think all these softwares, I'll be honest, have a specific purpose, and they all serve value, and they all add value to the marketplace. So I do think there is tremendous value with that, being said. But guys, we are at the end. I want you to I want you to hit subscribe if you haven't yet. I took a lot of time to make this video. I took even more time doing research on all of these softwares and what software I actually wanted to talk about today. I think really these tour softwares and the virtual tour industry is really going to increase and grow. What can I say? I mean, in my opinion, it's $1 billion industry, and it's going to only increase that as AI gets better, as virtual reality becomes better, as augmented reality becomes better. What can I say? I think that there's a place for all of these tour softwares out there. And yeah, so bravo to all these people out there who are crushing it. Guys, if you need any of these services, if you need virtual tours for your brokerage, for your company, we do this. Momentum 360 does this on a nationwide basis. So don't forget that. Comment below your thoughts. I want to hear all your thoughts, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. I want to hear disagreements. I want to hear, certain different opinions. I don't want to cause, an argument or fight, but I do want to hear different opinions. And I want to have people give me more information, because at the end of the day, what I'm going to do is make a part 2 to this video. I'm going to make a video with new softwares, and we're going to answer some of the questions that people had before. All right. So guys, with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I took time on a Saturday to make this because I really love making these videos, honestly, for you guys and, providing all this value. So guys, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.